私に働かせたんです。風俗かデビルハンターしか選択肢なかったんです。私も大学に行きたかったんです。でもここで死んじゃうんです。
What is going on, guys? Sageartz here, and in today's video we are going to be going over Chainsaw Man's very own Kobeni Higashiyama. But before we get into the video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to help your boy out, as it really does help to push the channel out there. And just a little notice, this video will contain spoilers for the Chainsaw Man manga, so do keep that in mind. Kobeni is a very interesting character within the world of Chainsaw Man, and outside of her being a fan favourite and best girl by default with the end of part 1, I feel like she's very overlooked when it comes to her strength, in every sense of the word. We were first introduced to Kobeni following the defeat of the Bat and Leech Devil, and she is an insanely timid character. It honestly makes people question why she became a devil hunter, or what she's even doing in a field she's obviously not suited for. And this is further highlighted within the Eternity Devil arc. Her lack of composure during the trials and tribulations the group face within the hotel are much worse than everybody else. And of course, with her being a rookie, this is expected, but she's definitely the weakest link in our group. Alongside Arai, she tried to kill Denji, she completely freaked out during the initial Devil's appearance, and she even needed to be knocked out by Himeno because she tried to drink from the toilet at one point. Now, in the initial comparison to her fellow squad members, Kobeni is definitely not as tough. When we look at the situations that others have come out from, it's hard to see how Kobeni would handle it if she were to walk in their shoes, and it definitely doesn't help that she's a character who serves as comic relief in the majority of the scenes she appears in. Like, her car is literally more popular than her. But during the Eternity Devil arc, we learn of Kobeni's troubled past. Being a 20-year-old girl and one of 9 sisters, she holds the burden of having to provide for her family, and she honestly doesn't have anything going for herself due to this said burden. While she has a mini breakdown due to the intense situation of imminent death and powers taunting, we learn from Arai that she's working as a devil hunter to provide for her older brother to get through college. And in order to do this, she was left with the options of either becoming a devil hunter or a sex worker by her parents. And both of these professions, speaking from a general perspective, aren't things people would want to do unless they had no choice. And this is clearly the case with Kobeni, given her attitude towards her circumstances. Devil hunting is literally a process of waiting for death to knock on your door, whereas sex work can be seen as degrading and a blow to one's dignity. Not throwing any shade at anyone who might be in that industry though, some people just gotta do what they gotta do. But as the story progresses, we see Kobeni always getting the short end of the stick, failing over and over again in her goals and with her intentions, or her just ending up in the most inconvenient situations possible. Now, whether this trajectory was just meant for her in life or is a result of her secret contracted devil, we can't say at this point in time. But what's clear is that she is a very unlucky individual. In the small moments where we see Kobeni shine throughout Chainsaw Man, I think what makes her a very likable character is the relatability and realism in her actions, words, and the fact she's able to keep going despite how bad everything gets. She honestly acts the way you'd expect a normal human from our own reality to act if we were in the Chainsaw Man world. She yearns for a typical life and is afraid of dying, while still trying to meet the expectations of her loved ones so she can provide for them, which comes at the cost of her own happiness, which is definitely tough to see. 2 chapters which I think most can agree are standout points for her, outside of clear satire moments within the Chainsaw Man manga, are chapter 28 and chapter 92, both being pivotal points as to why I'm even making this video, saying that she's much stronger than people think as a character in every aspect of the word. Chapter 28 is the first time we see Kobeni actually do something of importance within the manga. Following the death of her teammate Arai due to unexpected gunfire which he shielded her from, Kobeni takes action for the first time, and although still somewhat timid, she stands her ground in front of the enemy. The same enemy who had been responsible for Himeno's sacrifice, Aki and Denji's defeat, and Power's exit from the battle. She rushes Akane Sarutori and Katana Man, easily evading the Snake Devil and severing Katana Man's hand, and within that same split second picks up the gun and aims it towards her enemies, shooting Katana Man twice and failing to kill Akane Sarutori due to her gun jamming. As the two flee, we see Kobeni breaking down hysterically, immediately apologizing to Denji, who she's just saved, apologizing for trying to kill him days before, as she reflects on Arai's death, which came about as a result of protecting her. And this was the first display of Kobeni's strength strictly on the physical side. Her performance was so impressive that it sparked multiple theories within the fandom surrounding the potential devil she could be contracted with, from the Black Cat Devil theory, which would make a lot of sense given her bad luck, and to her potentially being contracted with one of the Horseman Devils, which at this point can be boiled down to either the Death or Hunger/Famine Devil, however you want to title it. But the fact her devil remained as a secret all the way through part 1, and she outlived every other member of the main cast, cheating death in every disastrous situation thrown at her, and there definitely was a lot of them, there's no way her devil reveal later on in this series will be a minor thing. but regardless, we've already seen the potential for her power, and it was vouched for by Himeno before her death. Chapter 98, however, in contrast to the physical display shown by Kobeni earlier on in the series, is where we get to see for the first time in a really serious setting how all the events of Chainsaw Man have affected her and her current mindset amidst the manhunt for Chainsaw Man by Makima, with her once again saving Denji, this time in a cathartic manner by giving our young protagonist the truth about life. This exchange between the two honestly became one of my favourite moments in the series straight up, and actually gave me valid reason to like her outside of the comic relief she provides to the story. I remember my first read through thinking what's going to happen here due to how her character has been handled up until this point, but seeing her happiness of finally being freed from her burden of her family, and this literally only happened because Makima is that much of a threat that contacting her family would be a foolish move on her part. It's a very valid reason for Kobeni to finally get away from the abuse that comes with being in that family, and we can finally see her reaction to being free for once. And again, taking into consideration every terrible event she's been through, honestly, I think we all agree there would have been many times she should have been able to sever those ties that she has with her family due to how stressful her life has been, but this was that moment for her, and her expression of relief and thank goodness that follows really makes you take her serious for once and opens your eyes as to how tough she really has it, and how hard she's actually been trying up until this point. And again, she of all people was the one to save our protagonist when he was down in the dumps, when Denji was at the lowest point in his life after losing his manufactured family and lifestyle, all at the hands of the first person who gave him a chance to live, the same person that he loved. And I just need to reiterate, again, of all people, it was the most undermined, laughed at, clowned, biggest failure we've seen in the series to date, Kobeni, that was able to do this. She literally lost the popularity poll to her freaking car, man. I can't stress this enough. However, it just goes to show that Kobeni deserves much more credit than she initially gets, and that line that she dropped when she said there's no such thing as a life free of bad things, it's set in your dreams, is a moment of hers I'll always remember within the story. Alongside obviously Dance Dance Mushroom, her and Power crashing her car, and many other funny moments. But as much as I love the Chainsaw Man manga, I do think that Kobeni definitely gets overlooked and downplayed a lot, which is very understandable given how she's portrayed in the story. So I wanted to make this video going over why she's much stronger than you think, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully within Chainsaw Man Part 2 we see her appear in the story very soon. I'm definitely curious to see what she's been up to after the ending of Part 1, and just like everyone else, I've been waiting on her secret devil reveal. But if you did enjoy this video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more Chainsaw Man content. Also check out some of the other videos on the channel if you're interested. I should have an Aki video coming out within the week, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.